Taylor Burnham de Nexeo ofrece una plática muy interesante en Plastics Recycling LATAM para entender los conceptos básicos asociados con los polímeros y la sustentabilidad. Vamos a platicar con ella de algunos de estos temas que serán muy ilustrativos para justamente comprender estos conceptos y palabras nuevas. Thank you so much, Taylor, for being here in this interview.
Thanks for having me.
So, what future trends do you see are coming in sustainability and polymers?
Sure. So, recycled has always been there. That's really catching steam as we see a lot of the North American legislation and, frankly, global legislation form around using post-consumer recycled content in parts. But we've also seen the ISCC certification using mass balance technology really get popular in the last 12 months. And that's kind of been a manufacturer's bridge to offering all of their existing portfolio with bio-based, bio-attributed content and chemically recycled content. It's the same polymer on a molecular level. It's just they're able to start marketing to a chemically recycled content or a bio-based content, so it's really exciting.
Great. So now talking about sustainability and polymers, there are many words, concepts that are new. So some people are still trying to understand them.
Absolutely.
What misconceptions have you found in the market that needs to be overcome?
Totally. So, staying on recycled, all of the legislation is being really specific about how you have to use post-consumer or post-commercial recycled content. The Association of Plastics Recyclers has a definition for PCR saying that part had to have met its intended use before it can be incorporated back in and count and be marketed to as fulfilling these legislative requirements. We find a lot of customers and a lot of OEMs using any recycled option, which includes post-industrial recycled. That's just, scrap from a machine. It stayed inside the facility. It didn't leave. It didn't go anywhere. It didn't touch a consumer. They're using that and saying that is also technically recycled content and fits the requirement, but that's just not true. When you start pulling at those threads, you're going to get in trouble if you start saying that it's PCR and that your part is fulfilling, the 25% PCR ban in a state like New Jersey or California.
And how did you work with your clients to tell them about these differences?
Sure. So, thankfully you guys had me here to talk about Sustainable Thermoplastics 101. Just educating them on the difference, because no one has ever talked about this topic as much as they have in this moment. Just continuing to reinforce that these are different. They're all great sustainable options, but if your goal is to fulfill, have a consumer packaging part that fulfills the 25% PCR content requirements in New Jersey, United States, you have to use a post-consumer recycled material. You cannot use a PIR. Just being there for them to answer their questions. You always get, some sketchy characters coming in and selling some magic fairy dust that's going to make your product break down anywhere at any time. And so just being there for them to say, okay, well, let's think about this. Does that make sense? And usually when you ask one or two questions, things start to unravel.
Great. That's very good explanation, very clear to understand it, begin to understand all these differences.
It's really confusing, but we're trying to learn as much as we can so we can be an asset to our customers.